is Matt.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say more so just Julian saying, wow.
Yeah.
33 of 38, 349 and 3 touchdowns, and just the quality of these throws. It is absolutely tremendous. As someone who played the position, as someone who coaches the position in the younger ranks in youth football and high school quarterbacks, Julian Sayin just put an absolute display for all of America to see. The accuracy in which he
Madison, Wisconsin is as good as it gets.
It's all about the Badgers.
Go Badgers! Go Badgers!
Games like this is what really separates college football from everything else.
Open up the history books. Here comes Rutledge.
That was J.J. Watt, and what a story this young man is. Gordon again! What a performance by Melvin Gordon!
And the pass rush gets home for the Badgers.
Camp Randall lets it roar.
An unrivaled fan base, the best college sports town in the world. This is ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay.
So live it up right here, right now. Till the sun comes up and the lights go out. So live it up right
well,
here,
it is exactly what we expected, unfortunately. 34-0. The Ohio State Buckeyes, top-ranked Buckeyes, coming into Camp Randall and punching Wisconsin in the mouth. Just another disappointing loss at Camp Randall. Alongside Riley Jauch here, we are live in Middleton. I am Pablo Iglesias. This is Wisconsin College GameDay, and man, oh man, what a game that we just saw. And again, Wisconsin coming into this game, Riley, a 24.5-point underdog. That is where the line closed. I know you got your opening statement. We were heated. It's a mix of apathy, disappointment, anger, all of these things right now as Wisconsin drops again from what we're seeing, too, for the first time since, I believe, 1977. Wisconsin is shut out in back-to-back games. Just tough things. Before we get into this opening statement, I got a lot of things to get off my chest. So before we get into this opening statement, Riley, I got to say, 15 years ago, too, this same game, a punch was thrown by David Gilreath. You heard him on the jump around earlier this week, too. A lot of good energy, a lot of good juju. That was the first punch that was thrown when Wisconsin took on Ohio State and ended up taking down the top dog in their own home. That was the punch in the mouth right there. A decade and a half later, how things have changed. How things have changed, how the program looks. You go from a massive upset 15 years ago to massively upsetting 15 years later. And now here we are as the hits kind of come left and right. Riley, it is time for you. Put on the gloves. Get in the boxing ring. It is time for your opening statement. Swing away.
Yeah, I appreciate the energy right off the rip, Pablo. I'm
heated. I'm not going to lie.
I thought it was funny also how you mentioned the line. I think this is the least shocking cover of all time, and I think maybe I'll be the more measured one today. That first drive, especially that 3rd and 11, just encapsulated how I feel about Wisconsin football right now. It was expected. You knew they marched right down the field, Fickle punts on 4th and 1, and just boop, 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 right down the field. Ohio State, 3rd and 11, scores miraculous, or not even miraculous, an excellent pitch and catch from Julian Sayin to Tate Cardell, I believe, had 2 touchdowns on the day. But I'm now, you said it, I'm between getting angry. I'm between just not caring anymore because this is the product that's on the field. This is the product we're getting. This is the 2025 Wisconsin Badgers. And my question right now is, when is enough enough? How can we continue to watch CBS, which has a fantastic broadcast? They're trying to show all these crowd shots. All we see are empty seats. No one cares. Everyone's off the bandwagon. Bags are over the heads of the students in the student section. This is just abysmal. When is enough enough? It's time to move on. It is time to move on. It has been time to move on. But now, if Maryland wasn't the final straw, okay. If Iowa wasn't the final straw, all right. If this isn't the final straw, what are we doing? What are you saying as a university, as an athletic department, that this is just acceptable?
It's not. It's not acceptable.
Just so
how can you be?
frustrating.
And here's my side of this too: is that I'm the Badger outsider. I've only been around Madison since 2021. I've seen this team from afar. But Riley, you are a Badger fan through and through. You are from the area. You've seen a lot of success. And what I've said before is that I'm only living through the memories of what Wisconsin football was. Texting Melvin Gordon earlier today. Unfortunately, he won't be able to join the postgame show. He is doing better things, and just announced too. Congratulations to him, Badger great, retiring with the Los Angeles Chargers. So hey, some good news to share right off the top of the bat. But you know what? Hey, unless you got some good things to say, unless you got some things to get off your chest, hey, Melvin, go enjoy your day. Because I think that's where we're at kind of right now with everybody. We saw people over at the tailgate. Maybe people wanted to hang out at our tailgate on Regent Street. Don't get me wrong, it's a party. But do people really want to go into the stadium? The aerial shots, looking at the student section, it looked like it was barely 16 rows up, and we're about to go into kickoff.
Yeah, which, I mean, to be fair, that's fairly typical, but it never filled up. It never got more than 2/3 full. Tickets, when was the last time a number one team came to Camp Randall Stadium and you could buy tickets, good seats, for $15? I'm pretty sure our own teammate Hunter Vaughn got 2 tickets for him and his wife, $15 a piece on the 50-yard line, about 25 rows up. How that... And I love that the fans, I love this was on national TV, and I love that the fans are speaking their mind and using the almighty dollar to show the athletic department and this university what they think, because that's the only way the needle's going to move. I was reading tweets. Apparently, they during the celebration of the Rose Bowl teams, they strategically didn't show Chris McIntosh, who was on one of those Rose Bowl championship teams. And he's got to go. McIntosh has got to go. Fickle's got to go. We need a hard reset for Wisconsin football. We need to move on. Enough is enough. We need something. We need change, because this just can't keep happening, and it's depressing to watch the demise, the collapse of Wisconsin football. And I mean, this wasn't an unexpected result. Even in Wisconsin's best season, they probably don't win this game. Ohio State has the best defense in the country by a large margin. They have one of the best offenses in the country. Outside of Indiana, which is crazy to say, Ohio State is the consensus number one team in the country.
Yes.
Like, even the best Wisconsin teams probably aren't winning this game. But again, just another pathetic effort. It seems split. You saw some guys, mostly the younger guys, playing really hard, just being outskilled. And then you have your subset of players who it looks like they're checked out. They're moving on. They're already thinking about the future. This is just, it's sad.
844-770-3776, the Carbless Talk and Text line. Liz is more. We want to hear from you. Riley, you mentioned this a little bit, too. If Maryland wasn't the final straw, if Iowa wasn't the last final straw, what is this then? So I want to ask you, and I also want to ask you again out there in the Carbless Talk and Text line one more time, 844-770-3776. Pablo Iglesias here with Riley Jauch. We are live at the Village Green for Wisconsin College Game-Day post-game show brewed by Coors Light. Almost feels like a vent session. I still feel heated. I still feel there's just so much. There's just so much building up right now, and come talk with us, come vent with us at this point. But Riley, as you mentioned too, we are trying to figure out what is that final straw. And let me ask you point blank, and we'll get into this more as we talk over these next couple hours, because we got a whole lot of shows still ahead of us. Is today, based off of how Wisconsin played, that first half too, you try to just run the ball and just try to run up the clock? I know, hey, you know what? Maybe this isn't college football. This isn't Madden. We're not going to run 4 verts and go for it. But you got to show some type of life. Am I right?
Yeah, and you need confidence. And this team has none of that right now. And you need confidence just to beat the Iowas of the world and the Marylands of the world. You're definitely not going to beat Ohio State. But if this isn't the final straw, what are we doing? Where do we go from here? And just if Chancellor Manuka, I think it ultimately goes to the Board of Regents.
Yes.
If McIntosh isn't gone, if Fickle isn't gone by the end of this weekend, they are saying that this is acceptable for the University of Wisconsin. This is okay for our football program to have the number one team in the country at their place, to have CBS, a nationally televised game, in our house, and for no one to show up, for tickets to be that cheap, and to get blown out again in front of millions, that's okay. That's what they're saying if they don't make moves soon.
It's just a loss of words at this point. It's trying to figure out exactly. And what also doesn't help, too, is just a bunch of different storylines coming out, seeing that apparently now practice is being closed to NFL scouts. Because here's the other side of this, and I want to talk about this some more as we get on in these next couple hours, but a game like this should be a marquee moment. It should be a marquee game. This should be not just for your team, but think about this for recruits. Think about this for fans. This is a game that everybody should have circled on their calendar. And the fact that the stadium, again, didn't feel like it was 80% full,
it was
regardless.
Dead. The atmosphere was entirely dead the entire game, and I don't blame them.
It was truly dead. You mentioned $20 to get in on the bowl. I'm looking at the menu over here, the weekly special right now. A double cheeseburger with fries is $14. You probably get that in a couple Coors Lights. You're on Easy Street. You can watch the game comfortably here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a Ben's pretzel inside of Camp Randall Stadium would have cost you more to get a Ben's pretzel with cheese than to get into the stadium, which just shows you the state of affairs. That's where Wisconsin football is at right now, and it doesn't get any easier, which is why if you don't make changes now, when are you going to? What else do you need to see from this team and from this coaching staff to make you decide that it's time to move on? They have Oregon next week, then they get a bye.
Yeah, it only gets easier from there. They got Indiana. Is that going to be a Peacock or at some point?
But you still, Washington could be 6-1 after today. Then you have a potentially 7-1 or 8-1 Washington team coming into Camp Randall. Oh, yeah, then you got to go to Indiana. Yeah. Easy. And then, who do they have after
it's
that?
Illinois Senior Night.
Illinois Senior Night.
And then at Minnesota, who just took down Nebraska.
Yep.
At their own on their own home
I wanted
turf.
to hate on Minnesota. I hate watching Minnesota, and I couldn't even. I couldn't even do that
could
last
at the end
night
of the day.
Because at least I hate PJ Fleck. At least he can win. At least they're getting wins up in Minnesota.
That is the thing right now. Is that it's the tough thing from
Mr. Ketchup and Mustard.
Yeah, we're trying to get some better vibes out here. So, hey, we're out here at the Village Green in Middleton. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Young. This is Wisconsin College Game Day. We got Scott from Fort Worth over on here on the Carbless Talk and Text line. Scott, what's up, man? You're on Wisconsin College Game Day post-game show. What you got to say? What you got to vent? Do you have a solution in terms of what the heck to do next for this team?
Yeah, hey, thanks for taking my call. Yeah, I got a solution. It's get rid of the whole damn athletic department that's involved with this football team.
Right.
I'm just sitting here, I'm looking at these stats right here. I mean, I kind of had the game on, but I was kind of like doing other things, kind of keeping one eye on the game and doing other stuff. And this is staggering. A net 49 yards passing. The highest rusher we had was 35 yards. The highest receiver we had was 31 yards. Meanwhile, homeboy over here for Ohio State slinging for 400 yards. I mean, where are we finding our players at? I mean, these guys should have all their scholarships revoked. This is ridiculous. They're not even playing like Division I school players if they're getting smoked this bad. So, again, this is fickle and is sorry recruiting, and the athletic department that apparently wants to line their pockets instead of putting money into the NIL to help Fickle out, whoever you want to blame for this. And to me, it's a combination of Fickle sucks and he can't coach and he's in over his head versus McIntosh. And I'm hearing rumblings about some lady that's there. I can't remember her name. It's spelled weird. Apparently, a lot of fans that I'm seeing like on X are not a big fan of hers either.
Yeah, Chase Lemanoukian.
Yeah,
students or something like that. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the only way you're going to fix it. Every day you run Fickle and the JV squad out there, that is the Wisconsin Badgers, you're saying to your fan base that you don't care. Well, unless the money starts kind of drying up, and then they will care. But right now, I just think they're so oblivious to the fact that this isn't working, and they think that the fans will get over it as long as we're making money for the university, this, that, and the other. I don't get it. They all need to go. McIntosh should be absolutely ashamed of himself. As an alumnus, too, I always listen. Dude, you suck, bro. What are you doing? You clearly are in over your head, just like Fickle is. Y'all both need to get together, go bowling, go pack it up, go do something else. Let's get some real football people in here and spend a little bit of money. I hate that it's the NIL. I'm also mad at Barry Alvarez. I didn't get to vent about that the other week. Barry can go suck an egg.
Taking a swing at the Don.
Yeah, Barry Alvarez. You can't sit there and say, don't take it out on the kids. because these kids are making money, so I don't want to hear that crap. They're 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. They're old enough to serve in our country, so, I don't call them kids being a prior military guy. We don't call them kids at that age. Don't call them kids, especially when they're taking the almighty dollar to come out and put this product on the field, because I'm embarrassed. Because this is embarrassed. So,
yes.
I think
burn it down. That's all I got to say, but they won't do it.
Embarrassing is
appreciate the call as always, Scott. I think you hit the nail on the head. You said, I think, what myself and a lot of fans are thinking. And how about this for another stat, Scott, and for all our listeners and watchers out there? Wisconsin's offense right now, this was before coming into today's game where they couldn't muster 175 yards of offense. They are 128th out of 134 teams at the FBS level in total offense. This has to be the worst offense in Wisconsin football history that is being put out there. And I don't care. I understand the quarterbacks have gotten hurt. At some point, someone else needs to step up. The running game has done nothing. All our running backs are getting hurt. Everyone's getting hurt. At what point do you have to start questioning Brady Collins? Like, why is everyone getting hurt? What is up with the nutrition and conditioning and strength programs right now? Everything is just a miss. Nothing is going well. And like you said, Scott, totally agree. It's time to start clearing house.
For a program that is just flexing the depth or talking about from a two deep, it is truly one of the weakest points right here. A lot to talk about, a lot to get into. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Jauch, Wisconsin College GameDay. The Badgers falling 34-0. Not one that we necessarily weren't expecting, but again, it doesn't necessarily soften the wound that the Badgers shut out in back-to-back games, especially in this fashion. ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay is presented by Coors Light. When you need to refresh on game day, choose a beer that's as cold as the Rockies. Cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. When the mountains are blue, Riley, you know what to do.
That is crush a Coors Light.
2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. When we return, more venting, more whatever the case is at this point. Maybe I need some Coors Lights to calm down after this, but I don't think it's going to calm down in just a few minutes. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Jauch. This is ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, brewed by Coors Light.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay.
Hi, it's Eric from Canopy Wealth Management. Our years of experience have prepared us to guide you through your life transitions. Our local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry for the benefit of our clients. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started on your financial future today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Every team needs captains and playmakers, and Madison and Dane County Pizza Hut locations are looking for both. They're hiring managers to lead the crew and drivers to deliver big wins and pizzas. Find part-time or full-time roles with flexible hours, plus full benefits for those who work 30 or more hours per week. Whether it's running the huddle or making plays on the road, there's a spot at Pizza Hut for you. Apply today at jobs.pizzahut.com. That's jobs.pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Starion Bank redefines local banking in Madison. As a community bank with a commitment to Dane County, experience a banking relationship where your goals are our priority. Enjoy competitive deposit and loan rates and a partnership that thrives on local engagement and support. Starion Bank is more than a full-service financial institution. It's a community pillar dedicated to your prosperity. Visit one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, offering banking, lending, mortgage, and cash management.
'Tis the season to be planning your holiday events. Whether it's a party for 10 or 10,000, Celebrations has the sound, video, lighting, special effects, and custom-themed decor to make it the best party ever. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With us on your team, your Halloween, holiday, or New Year's party will be easy to plan and super fun to attend. DJs, casino games, lighting, and photo booths are just the beginning at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Don't be haunted by high prices this Halloween. Metro Ford of Madison has frightfully good deals waiting just for you. Right now, drive home the all-new 2025 Ford F-150 or F-150 STX, or escape the ordinary in a 2025 Ford Escape, both with just 2.9% APR for up to 66 months. Only $16.41 per month for $1,000 finance. But hurry, these scary good offers vanish November 3rd. Visit MetroFordOfMadison.com today, where the deals are a treat, never a trick.
Wisconsin sports fans, Brian Balaga here from my friends at Surfside. Football season is back, and we're bringing you your tailgate must-have. There's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your home team. Made with real vodka and real brewed tea, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Ask for it at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement, with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Nona, Madison.
34-0, the final score at Camp Randall. Wisconsin falling to top-ranked Ohio State. Pablo Iglesias here, live from the Village Green alongside Riley out for Wisconsin College Game Day. And Riley, again, this week, I feel like I've calmed down a little bit, thankfully. Got some energy off. But, again, the conversation still keeps going. But I do have a riddle for you.
Oh.
What happens when you combine Pandora's box with Murphy's Law? Are you familiar with Murphy's Law?
Yes, I am. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Yes,
I believe is Murphy's Law.
That is correct. That is Wisconsin football.
Yes.
If you combine those two things, it is when Murphy's Law just runs amok in Pandora's box. And that feels like exactly what happened and what is happening right now. What has also thrown me off, too, as we have more callers here on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talking text line list is more. We'll get to those calls in a second, but also just the predictions, too, of a floor for Wisconsin being 3 wins. I don't even know if they can reach 3 wins this season. The fact that people believe that was the floor for this team.
I did. Coming into this season, I thought 3 was egregiously pessimistic. I thought fans were just being haters. I thought they were just hating on Luke Fickell for no reason. Turns out they were all right, and I was wrong.
The heart was we were trying to lead with the heart, but unfortunately the brain might be saying something a little louder. Yep. And unfortunately we weren't listening in time. But hey, let's listen to see what Peyton over in Austin has got going for us. Peyton, you were joining Wisconsin College Game Day. What's up, man?
Hey, Pablo and Riley. I'm sorry you guys had to watch that, just as much as I did. But, just kind of curious what you guys thought, especially like Luke Fickell. He's got to be gone, got to go. But where do we draw the line? Are we getting rid of McIntosh as well? Are we clearing house and pulling a UCLA? Especially for a program that used to be considered running back university, and our longest rush today was by our punter.
Yep.
It's definitely not looking great, and I really don't know where to go, especially when we have a minute left. It's 70-0, and we have the ball right before half, and we just rush it and take it into halftime. There's absolutely zero confidence in our guys, and it was just horrible. And honestly, if that punt got blocked, Fickell should have been fired at half. So just want to hear your guys' thoughts on do we absolutely clear house, and who would be a good coaching option, especially when I look around the Big Ten. I see P.J. Fleck beating Nebraska and Kirk Cignetti. I hate P.J. Fleck as much as the next guy, but it's like to hear that snake oil salesman winning more games than Fickell, it makes me sick. Just want to hear your guys' thoughts.
Yeah, thank you for the call, Peyton. Fantastic questions all around, and trust me, I feel you on P.J. Fleck. He seems like a snake oil salesman, and I don't think Minnesota's ceiling's that high, but clearly right now it's certainly higher than ours. I think yes. I think everyone needs to go. McIntosh, this was his call. This was his big swing, and he put his career on the back of Luke Fickell. If football is not successful, the university as a whole is significantly less successful. So you have to get that right. And, let's start with the top. Let's start with McIntosh here. So he messed up Luke Fickell. Okay, maybe if he did some other good things, you can give that a pass. Let him take another swing, because everyone would have hired Fickell. Me and Pablo, we would have taken Fickell. You probably would have taken Fickell if he was available. Some Power 5 school, a good school, would have hired Fickell if he was available. Don't totally blame him for that decision, but it's been wrong. Okay, what are the most successful programs right now at the University of Wisconsin? Women's hockey. Perennial national champions, championship contenders, they're always in the Frozen Four. Men's basketball, always in the tournament, really struggling to get back to that Sweet 16, but Greg Gard is constantly churning out really good teams, and they've revolutionized their system and how they handle NIL. Greg Gard, men's basketball, has been great. And then volleyball. Kelly Sheffield won a national championship in 2021, has a very good team this year, battling a couple injuries, but they're right in the mix too. What do those three programs have in common? Their coaches were hired by Barry Alvarez, not Chris McIntosh. And let's look at the programs that McIntosh has touched. Luke Fickell, Wisconsin football, worst football team we have seen since 1990, at least. Barry Alvarez's first year. We're back in the Don Morton era. Cross country, scandals. Women's basketball, scandals. Although I like the new coach, Robin Pynchon. That could end up being a good hire. Let's see. What else do we got? Oh, the track team. They don't have a new track. They're not going to have a competition track. They're a very good team, and they're not going to have a competition track because the facility that was approved doesn't have a competition track. It just doesn't make sense. Then you have the brick situation where fans were getting screwed out of bricks that have been there at the UW Athletic Hall of Fame at Camp Randall for decades. That was mismanaged. Everything that he has touched has gone awry. Nothing has been successful with Chris McIntosh's hands on it. So I think he's got to go. And then Luke Fickell, obviously he's the figurehead of the football program. I do think he's a good coach, but clearly it's just not working right now, and the team isn't buying what he's selling, and I wish him all the best elsewhere, but it's time to move on from him too. I brought up Mike McCarthy last week as a potential option to replace Fickell. We'll see. Jason Eck, Lance Leipold, also names that I really like as potential options to replace him, but I don't know. There's no one out there that really screams, yes, that's an easy auto hire like Fickell was when we got rid of Paul Christen. There's no coach in waiting like Jim Leonard. So it's a frustrating situation. I can't remember the rest of your questions that you had for me, Peyton, but our running game is atrocious. We still don't have a run by a running back over 20 yards this entire season. And that's our bread and butter. We're just such a far cry from peak Wisconsin football. And again, I'm glad we honored those Rose Bowl champion teams so all of these proud alumni could come back and see what an absolute debacle this program was. And hopefully a lot of them got in the ears of the higher-ups who make these decisions so they can happen soon. It is time to move on. I've had enough. Let's go. We're done.
Peyton, I'm on the same train too. It is definitely time to move on at some point. But here's my belief on this one. I am not in the camp that it has to happen in season, that it has to happen, even though as frustrating as today was, as frustrating as the last few weeks have been, how is it going to get better? I don't know if I feel confident in terms of how this all of a sudden can turn it around, because if you do decide to do this, again, as I mentioned, I just feel like I keep going back to Pandora's box. You open up something different, and you open up more chaos. The thing that worries me and this is beyond the program. This is beyond this is beyond the players, the coaches, the staff, all those things. If you decide to move on from Luke Fickell in season, then you are completely given up on the season. I know it does and probably is. The season does feel like it's very much over. But then think about this. You lose a lot of business over on Regent Street. You lose fan apathy. Fans already feel like they're pretty checked out. Riley, I know that you feel I feel upset today too. But there is 100%. What do fans feel like that they could buy into? It's just, again, it's something that's happening around Jump Around on a Saturday. That's all that would feel like if you decide to do this. And the other thing too is, who is going to be that person? I don't know if I feel incredibly confident of somebody that could step in from the interim side. So, again, I'm in this camp that it does need to happen. You do need to move on. You do need to start weighing out these options. And another thing, too, of when this – because I was around when Paul Chryst was fired. I was around this team, got to cover them. And honestly, I felt like it was strangely a better situation because you had Jim Leonard, because you had the fans at least rooting for Jim Leonard, even in the bittersweet situation that Paul Chryst was fired. A very successful run for Chryst, but clearly a slide in that situation. But people still had somebody and something to root for, and that was hoping that Jim Leonard would be the head coach. Now, moving into Luke Fickell at the time, going back to what you were saying, Riley, yes, we can all agree that at the time that was the right hire.
Slam dunk.
But clearly, you have not gotten better.
Gotten significantly worse.
You want to come in and you want to try to beat and recruit like your Ohio States, but you got to remember where the meat and potatoes are, too, of the Big Ten. You got to do baby steps. You know what, right now, hey, that's awesome if you're going to try to take a swing at national championships, but right now you got to focus on not just winning the Big Ten, but you got to focus on winning in the Big Ten right now. Yeah. So there's a lot of different options, and more so I just want to find a guy that really knows the true bread and butter of Wisconsin, that is more than happy to bleed Wisconsin, that is not afraid to go out and take these visits and go see these kids. And not just, like, again, it's recruiting the guys that, because you lose a guy like Amari Latimer who ended up who decommits.
He's crystal ball to Ohio State now.
Crystal ball to Ohio State. So you start losing those guys that Ohio State's knocking it on the door, and that's what happens. So, again, in terms of names, we'll see exactly what this coaching cycle looks like, but it's just more of, again, it's the characteristics behind it. It's who this person is. How are they going to bleed Wisconsin? How are they going to truly embody? And this isn't an indictment on Luke Fickell specifically, but it's more so of just who is going to be that person. What is that missing link? Because we keep talking about what this missing link is, and we're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, and I think Fickell did after last season. He realized too late, though, that Phil Longo and the air raid offense just was not going to work, and that was a big mistake. And I think that ultimately is going to be probably the biggest mistake that sinks him on the field wise, and he realized, oh shoot, we need to get bigger, we need to actually play Wisconsin football. But then far too late, all the goodwill from the fan base totally gone, from the alumni totally gone. The way they've gone about NIL, from what we have heard, has not been fantastic. They haven't done a good job of he hasn't done a good enough job of becoming a Wisconsin guy. Like, Wisconsin's such an interesting place. Mm-hmm. Like, it's such a difficult place to I don't know if I want to say difficult, but you have to be of a certain ilk to understand Wisconsin and to be able to succeed here and understand the fan base. Look at Pat Murphy with the Brewers. He's not from Wisconsin, and he is probably the quintessential Wisconsin head coach, manager, whatever you want to call it, in the state of Wisconsin, because he just embraces what it means to be a Wisconsinite so well. And everyone can relate to him. They love him. And Fickell, that's, one, not who he is, and he hasn't done a good enough job of trying to be someone or to really, it seems, get to know the state of Wisconsin and how we operate here, which is frustrating because I do think he is a very good coach. And this, I think, this just shows the ineptitude of the current iteration of the Wisconsin Badgers right now. Ryan Wollersheim sent us a tweet saying that Fickell, in his postgame press conference, admitted that the best run of the game, the best play of the game probably for Wisconsin, the fake punt, wasn't called. It wasn't Fickell finally being like, you know what, screw it. We're just going to throw something at the wall and see if it sticks. We're just going to try something fun. Nope, that was Sean West, the punter, by himself being like, you know what, I'm going to make a play. And darn it, he made a play. And that was the best thing we saw today. which I think just shows where we're at as a program. When all the best material, the best stuff we're seeing on the field is ad-libbed, and it comes from the players. None of it is from this current coaching staff.
When you're ad-libbing, you're lost. Also, shout out to Peyton from Austin. Not sure if you're still on the line, but appreciate you calling in. You can call in, too, on the Carbless Talking text line, 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talking text line list is more. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Jauch. This is Wisconsin College Game Day postgame show as we just try to figure out exactly, again, what's happened, how do we move forward, what the frustrations are, what the next steps are beyond this season for Wisconsin football. We have an anonymous texter here on the Carbless Talking text line saying, I think it's time to cut ties with Luke Fickell, but the question is there someone on the staff that can step in as the interim that could perhaps create a jolt of energy for the team that seems to have no life? Either way, retaining Luke Fickell is the definition of insanity. The definition of insanity, doing something over and over again, believing that it's going to work. That is the definition of insanity. And going back to the point again, this would be a vastly different situation if Wisconsin, I believe in my eyes at least, if they were to fire him in season. Because, again, you had a guy like Jim Leonard. You don't have that Jim Leonard-esque type of character in this locker room, just to be totally fair. Likeable guys, but I don't know if there's somebody that can necessarily step in. Riley, before we go, anything on that?
No, I think you said it. I mean, do you trust Jeff Grimes to take over this squad? Do you think he's a head coach in waiting? Do you think Mike Tressel is? Kenny Guyton, I like him as a person. I don't.
Matt Mitchell, maybe because he has head coaching experience, but that's, I mean, what is that at the. Nothing on him, but it's just more of that's another.
It's not the same
that's
level.
A head coach.
Being the head coach at the University of Wisconsin is not the same as we just discussed as being the head coach of some other program. So there's no one that I see. There's no consensus. You're gonna have to clean everything out, and you got to start over. You have to blow it up. I don't think there's any other option right now.
If you are looking to start over and you're looking for a reliable roof and home restoration company in Wisconsin, Badgerland Exteriors is here to help. Residential and commercial roofing, siding, and solar, Badgerland Exteriors has you covered. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started today on your next project. Pablo Iglesias, Riley out here live for the Village Green. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. The vent continues, the frustration continues, the sadness, the apathy, any type of word. Get out your thesaurus as we try to define exactly how we're truly feeling. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Jauch Gaming Madison is throwing the Halloween party of the year. Join the fun Friday, October 31st at our Halloween Bonanza costume contest. We're giving away $6,000 in cash prizes at our 9 p.m. drawing. But get creative because the better the costume, the bigger the prize. You'll also enjoy a DJ, a free photo booth, a treat bag with a free drink ticket, plus $10 in rewards play when you arrive wearing a costume. Bring your Halloween spirit to
Jauch Gaming Madison.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? For a limited time at TPC Wisconsin, enjoy full golf privileges and all club amenities without full dues. Pay just $150 per month through March to maintain your full golf membership with no golf dues until April 1st. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Schedule a tour or submit a membership inquiry at tpcwisconsin.com and start enjoying the private golf club experience you deserve. That's tpcwisconsin.com.
Calling all hard seltzer lovers. It's time to keep it tasty with Neutral Vodka Seltzer. Made with real vodka and real juice. Neutral delivers clean, refreshing flavor with every sip. From pineapple to watermelon, orange and lime, there's something for everyone. Perfect for any occasion. And when it's game day, make it a tasty game day with Neutral. The ultimate drink to cheer, chill, and keep it tasty all day long. Neutral, keep it tasty. Enjoy responsibly. 2025 Anheuser-Busch, Neutral, flavored vodka and carbonation. 4.5% alcohol by volume, St. Louis, Missouri.
The savings are scary good at Metro Kia of Madison this month. Get behind the wheel of a 2026 Kia Sportage for just 1.9% APR for 48 months. Only $21.47 per month per $1,000 financed. Or go electric in the 2025 Kia EV6 with a shocking 0% APR for 72 months. Just $38.89 per thousand financed. But hurry, these frightfully good offers disappear after November 3rd. Visit MetroKiaofMadison.com today.
Ready for the snap and a timeout taken.
The team looks a little bit lost. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, the winning play is simple. A whole house of new windows as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no interest. A championship move from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
No doubt, Wayne. And unlike the opponent's defense, Pella Windows actually stopped the drafts.
The draft picks we gave up for number one had to be the steal of the century.
True, but I'm talking about replacing old drafty windows.
Roger that. With energy-efficient windows that keep the cold out, you'll stay as toasty as a fan at a warm weather preseason game.
Pay as low as $297 a month for a whole house of new Pella windows.
Plus, with 0% interest for up to 60 months, don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today.
Schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 10/31/2025.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community, and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Have you been wanting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. For over 30 years, Brunner Realty has been providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area. Contact their team at BrunnerRealtyInc.com to get started today. That's BrunnerRealtyInc.com. Pablo Iglesias here with Riley Jauch. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Wisconsin falling 34-0 against Ohio State. Riley Jauch and I probably saved ourselves a little bit of misery at the very least of watching the game, at least on television, and watching it a little bit here at the Village Green. We're now joined by our teammate Jim Rutledge. You can also hear him a part of our show, too, of the Jump Around
the whole
Thursdays.
Jump Around squad. Let's go.
The Jump Around squad is here. Jim Rutledge, on the other hand, was really taking one for the team, being at Camp Randall in the press box. Jim, what's up? What was the vibe in that stadium like? Because it looked like it was absolutely dead on TV.
Yeah, no vibes in that stadium. A lot of good vibes, I'd say, from Ohio State. They might have had more Ohio State fans there than Badger fans, especially as the game went along. There were times where the cheers were louder for Ohio State than not there was much cheers about for Wisconsin than there were for Wisconsin. So, I think you guys saw, and you can see it on my socials, the student section never filled. The stadium never filled. I don't remember a lot of non-full student sections for the jump around, especially against the number one team in the country. A nationally televised game. That's the game that fans always showed up for. And I don't blame them for not doing it, but the vibes were bad. Fire pickle started on the first drive. It continued throughout the game. Booze throughout the game. And it just, I think I heard Riley say it earlier, a handful of guys looked like they came to play, and the rest of them looked like they were going through the motions for the Badger football team.
Jim, what do you think was the most shocking thing? Because, again, even though we talked about that 34-0, did we expect it to happen? Probably. We expected this game to go the way that it did, but that doesn't necessarily soften the blow. What do you think is the most shocking thing from this type of game, from your takeaway being in that stadium?
For me, it's that I wasn't shocked.
Yeah.
Predicted this.
Bingo.
I said it on Jim Matt and Molly.
go.
That the Badgers weren't going to score a touchdown or a point. And they've scored one touchdown. They scored in the first 7 minutes against Michigan. They haven't scored a touchdown since. And it's disgusting. It's 2 games, 11 quarters, almost 12 quarters. The last meaningful touchdown was what, against Middle Tennessee State? I don't know. I mean, like, it is disappointing. It's gross. I felt bad for the Badger alumni who were out there. They rightfully should be getting their literal Rose Bowl flowers. And, you know, fans did their best to be hyped about it, but, like, it's disgusting. And I know for a fact a lot of them are upset, including plenty of non-Rose Bowl winning Badgers are plenty upset. And the whole thing is discouraging, and there's no way to spin it. It's not like these guys – it's not like they're losing close. It's not like they're putting up a good fight. They're just getting out-talented. They're getting shellacked every game, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Jim. And have you today specifically been in communication with any alumni, or did you happen to talk to any of the Rose Bowl champions who are in the building? What is – if I was saying this earlier – if this isn't enough, if this doesn't cross the line and it's time to fire Fickell, it's time to clean house, I don't know what is. So have they reached that point yet?
Yes. If not now, when was definitely there. Now, some wanted them going after Maryland, which was too early. Iowa is easily a reason to say bye. And if it's not now, then when? And Pablo, I get your point about you know, you don't want to put these kids in a position you don't have a head coach in waiting. But, you know, if I'm Fickell or if I'm in this situation, I'm almost going to the university and saying, hey, I'll take my buyout sum down if you fire me. And I'm going to do my guy, Mike Tressel, solid, let him start. He won't get a job here, but maybe he can give himself a nice little resume, coach the last 2 games. They got 2 home games left. There's not a game on the schedule they're going to be favored in. And I know you can do this all behind the scenes, recruiting-wise as well, but the sooner you move on from Fickell, the sooner you can start looking for a new head coach and a new direction for the program. And it's an indictment of Fickell that he doesn't have someone in waiting that could take this job. I don't think there's anyone in there that's going to come save any of this, but at least fans feel like something's been done. Again, I said this before, it's going to be more expensive to keep Luke Fickell than it will be to fire him.
Yeah, Jim, and I want to stay on the vibes too, because afterwards too, what the area was like, what Regent Street was like, because we talked about this, we said this on the jump around, and just in general that this is beyond a program thing. This is a brand issue now. This is, as fan apathy just continues to pour in right now. What is that sense? What was the area like too just after the game? Again, we were not shocked at all, and the most shocking thing is that we weren't shocked. But again, when you just, is it heads are down? Is it just kind of like, oh, well, it is what it is, and people are just accepting this? What was the vibe of people walking out of the stadium when you were on your way out?
Was it fait accompli? Like, they knew their destiny was already written in the stars for this game.
Yeah.
At least for this one, it's like, it's Ohio State. You're going to win anyways. Now, people are disgusted and mad because they didn't score a point. Yeah. The whole thing, but honestly, at this point, it's what is the worst thing your dad can say to you? I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
I think that's where Badger fans are now. They're past the mad stage. They're just disappointed and bummed out, and that's going to lead to apathy. And then it's going to get even harder to get them back, especially with Fickell. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
The Badger football team is a brand, and the brand is trash. And even if Fickell is a good coach, and I'm not saying he's not, nobody's going to literally buy in or pay in to support this brand.
Yeah, exactly, Jim. And you said it. This was the first time coming to the Village Green here in Middleton. I had to drive through the west side. I drove down Regent just to see what it's like. At halftime, yeah, it's fantastic. Love the vibe here. We're getting our food. I'm excited. The cheese curds were great. It was the first time I've ever, at halftime, seen droves of Badgers fans walking away from the stadium, leaving at halftime, for crying out loud. It was absolutely ridiculous. But, Jim, you tweeted this out, and we saw the report from Dane Brugler of The Athletic. And I think Fickell's a good coach, too. But you've been covering the game for a while. Have you ever heard of a coach locking out NFL scouts? Like, that just seems like total malpractice as a Division I football coach in the Big Ten.
I've never heard of a good coach doing it. I can't say I've never heard of it because I'm just trying to think about it. Maybe. I mean, I covered Miami back in the day with Randy Shannon, and those teams were pretty terrible. That sounds like something he might do. But that's a long time ago. As you said, I'm old, and I can't remember every team I've covered. And when I covered FAU football with Howard Schnellenberger, I don't think that they had pro scouts coming around. Program was only around for about 2 or 3 years when I was down there. But I'll tell you what, it looked better than this. I thought that during the game. That looked better than this. At least it looked competent. Now, Schnellenberger's a Hall of Fame coach, but that program was around for like 3 years, and they looked like they knew what they were doing as far as running a football, offense and defense and showing up. They just looked out-talented. This was more than out-talent. It was out-willed, it was out-talent, and the Badgers just look like they're going through the motions, and everyone just wants to Pablo, I heard your reference to the video game. It's college football 25. Let's just sit him to the end and let's hire a new coach. This is gross.
Yep.
And honestly, on offense, it's like one of those things like, why even bother? Like, can we just get past the offense and get back to defense and shorten this game up, get a running clock going or something?
Yeah, at least the defense has been showing up. And there's so many talented young players on the defense. I think that could be where more of the energy's from. Or even Ben Barton, an old guy. Like, you can tell he still wants to play. And then on offense, it seems like there's zero confidence whatsoever. And Jeff Grimes, it's run, pass. Turnover on down. Yep. Or punt it away. Run. 4th and 1. Let's punt it away again. There's just nothing positive right now that you could say about this team. And that's where we're at. And that's why no one cares and why Ohio State, the number 1 team in the country, is at Camp Randall and tickets are $15 on the 50-yard line. It's frustrating, to say the least.
Yeah. And the injuries, look, there was questions with how he handled Billy Edwards. Why is everyone hurt?
Yeah.
At this point, everyone's hurt every year for the Badgers. And I'm not putting it on Fickle. Maybe it's strength and conditioning. Maybe it's just bad luck. But goodness gracious, this guy's had a lot of bad luck because he hasn't had quarterbacks. But Danny O'Neal's healthy. He's choosing to play Hunter Simmons, and then Danny O'Neal. Then Simmons gets hurt. But Dylan Jones is hurt. Darian Dupree is hurt. They're not going to have a running back run for more yards the entire season than Melvin Gordon ran for in 3 quarters against Nebraska. And I know injuries are part of it, but you're not deep. And then why is everyone hurt? Like, at some point, you talk about players being injury-prone. The Badgers feel like they're not doing something right, that these guys are always hurt.
Yeah. Dylan Jones hurt today. Ricardo Hallman hurt today. Hunter Simmons hurt today.
Christian probably Allegro had a whole lineup, honestly.
Yeah, Giacomelli walked off. He ended up coming back on. Christian Allegro ended up going off, and he had a cast on his left arm. Tretch was almost killed again at the end of the game by Danny O'Neal. And, yeah, I mentioned it to Pablo earlier on in the show, how much of a fault is on Brady Collins, strength and conditioning coach, which, again, ultimately goes back to Fickle, and the coaching staff he's assembled is just not nearly up to snuff. It's not up to snuff in the Big Ten, that's for sure. And how about this, Jim? Did you know that the Badgers, their offense ranks 128th out of 134 in the FBS? Like, we're not at a MAC level right now.
No.
Just abysmal.
They're the worst team in the Power 4.
Yeah.
Fickle's beaten one Power 4 football team, if I'm not mistaken.
I think there's been one touchdown that feels like it's mattered in Big Ten play, too. Again, I think it was Michigan, too. Yeah.
You have one Big Ten win, and that's one Power 4 conference victory. Is that right, over the course of his career here?
Let me go back. I think the 7-5 season. Yeah. I mean, he beat Rutgers last season. He beat Purdue.
Maybe the last 2 years.
Last 2 years he has 2 Power 4 wins, both Purdue and Rutgers.
Nebraska. What was Minnesota? A couple years, or
just over the past 2 seasons.
Oh, the past 2 seasons.
Purdue and Rutgers.
Yeah.
Those are the only Power 4 teams they've beaten. And this year, Purdue and Rutgers would smoke the Badgers.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they beat the Power 4 team outside the Big Ten?
Let me scroll as I'm going back through
Not in
their
the Fickle
schedule.
era that I can think of.
No, you have Western Michigan, South Dakota. They got close in the ReliaQuest Bowl. Remember that. Good times. Nope, they lost to Washington State as well. Not a single Power 4 win outside of the Big Ten.
Close only counts in the horseshoe and hand grenades. Isn't that the phrase?
Yes.
Or almost. Almost does.
Yeah. Well, the hand grenade is how the Badgers look like right now, so yeah.
Jim, before we let you go, too, any any satisfaction in terms of getting the predictions right? You said, hey, that Shohei Ohtani was going to strike out multiple Brewers, and now unfortunately the prediction
more than
that
7 and they'd win. Yeah, more than 7.
He remembers the ticket.
Funny thing is, I was going to say he was going to hit a home run, but I'm like, that's too much. Then he hit 3.
Then he had 3.
But the Badger one, that one is. I don't even feel. This isn't even a bold prediction. That's why I had 3. Ohtani striking, I had to do all these because Ohtani striking out more than 7 Brewers was not a bold prediction. The Badgers not scoring a point was not a bold prediction. And then my third one is I have the Packers, I believe, covering the spread and the game going over and the over-under for points. So there's a positive one this weekend.
Okay.
Hopefully that one doesn't bite me in the butt. But there's no satisfaction for this. This is disgusting. And look, the worst part is, we got Oregon next, and then you got Indiana on the schedule. You got Illinois. You got Minnesota. And it's just what? How many more of these I got to watch?
Exactly. Jim, so this is my final question before we actually let you go. Yeah. Does Luke Fickell have a job Monday morning?
Oh, my God. I hope not. I'm going to say no.
Okay. I don't think so either. I said that last week too. But at this point, what more do you need to see? When have we what's the breaking point now? If this isn't, I just don't know. But thank you, Jim.
If it doesn't happen now, he's not getting fired.
Yeah.
Jim Rutledge, you can also hear him on Jim, Matt, and Molly weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. on 100.5 ESPN. And also on the Jump Around with myself, Riley Jauch, our producer. You can hear us Thursdays at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison and the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels. Jim, thanks for your time. Hopefully you get to enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Take a deep breath and just get to enjoy your weekend. Hey, Bears play tomorrow, so that's good for you and I.
Yeah, and I got carry off from North and South, so I am going to go inside and watch anything but Badger football.
Good call.
Well done. Did you get the soggy salad that Molly loves?
No, I did not. I got the burnt ends, the meat candy.
Ooh, good stuff.
Excellent call.
All right, Jim. Well, hey, we'll let you go. I know you got to get to those things when they're nice and warm. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
All right, Jim Rutledge again of the Jump Around, our great show on Thursdays, and also on Jim, Matt, and Molly joining us here. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. I'm Pablo Iglesias. He is Riley Jauch. I want to talk to you real quick before we take a break. With Celebrations Entertainment, planning events has never been easier. They have complete event services for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movies, casino nights, and much more fun. Visit celebrationsentertainment.com to get started today. Celebrations Entertainment, fun, memorable events. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day on 100.5 ESPN Madison and on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channel.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Attention business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
Game Day in Wisconsin calls for a big play. The Big Dinner Box from Pizza Hut. 2 medium one-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks, all for just $19.99. That's enough for you to feed your whole lineup and the fans before kickoff. Hand-tossed, pan, thin and crispy, even tavern style. Pizza Hut has something for every seat in the stadium. Order now for delivery or carryout at pizzahut.com or on the app. Fuel your game day with the Big Dinner Box. Pizza Hut. Feed good times.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
From the baseball playoffs to regular season football, Prize Picks is the best way to win cash watching our favorite teams. Which players are going off? Which ones are overhyped? Well, make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Prize Picks now offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Prize Picks also offers injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Join millions of users. Sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. Download the Prize Picks app today and use that code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Hi, it's Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch, inviting you to join me July 5th on a journey through the lovely landscapes of England, Scotland, and Wales with Colette. We'll take in the charm of the countryside and the history of the great cities. Imagine standing before Big Ben in London, then later gazing out from Edinburgh Castle. So rich in history, it feels like you're stepping back in time. Along the way, we'll explore the storybook villages of Chester and Shakespeare's Stratford-upon-Avon, places where every street seems to whisper a piece of history. And how about a scenic train ride through the rolling green hills that lead us right into the medieval city of York? It's all part of this incredible journey. From iconic landmarks to cozy villages, from bustling city streets to peaceful countryside views, you'll experience the very best of Britain's history, culture, and beauty, and create memories that last a lifetime. To learn more about this amazing adventure, text TRAVEL to 844-770-3776 or visit ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com for full details.
Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Ford and Metro Kia of Madison. Find the Metro family of auto dealers online or see them in person on the east side of Madison today.
Hey Madison, it's Rich Eisen, and now you can hear the Rich Eisen Show on ESPN Radio in the second best college town in the world. Sorry, Badgers fans. I am a Michigan man. The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays noon to 2, right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Finally out here. This is ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, live from the Village Green in Middleton, Wisconsin. After Wisconsin's drop 34-0 against Ohio State. First time, I believe, did we get the official stat, or we looked it up, 1977 or somewhere in the late 70s, either way.
I believe the CBS broadcast said 1968.
1968.
So I will trust their statisticians.
Let's go with that. Either way, it has been a long time since Wisconsin has gotten shut out in back-to-back. Don't you do it.
It's either 50 years, almost 50 years, or almost 60 years.
Okay.
Take your pick.
Yeah, it's.
What do you think I was going to say? You were around then?
No, I thought you were about to do a 6-7 thing.
No, I was not. I was not going to do that.
You're right there.
I'm not Mark Tauscher.
You're not Mark Tauscher.
I'll leave that to Tausch.
Hunter Vaughn also doing that too on our Prep Mania broadcast. Yeah. So some positive things that are going on over here at the ESPN Madison content side, but. Oh, man, oh, man.
And it's funny, actually doing this, I'm seeing a video right now that was posted on Twitter from the very end of the broadcast. Yeah. And as Fickle's getting booed off the field, he kind of raises his hands. If you watched me on the YouTube channel, sort of like, bring it on. Bring it on. And it's like, what are you doing, man? Know the time and the place. Don't be so tone deaf. I understand what he's doing. Bring it on for me, not the kids. Don't boo them, boo me. But, dude, you look like a douche, and I don't think he's a douche. Just stop. Just take your lumps and move on. I think the vast majority of Wisconsin Badgers fans don't want you to have a job and don't think you'll have a job soon. So just eat it. Don't make it harder on yourself, man. The optics it's hard to make the optics worse, and somehow he continues to make them worse week in and week out.
It just keeps on getting worse and worse. To start off this show, I was fiery, ready to go, talking about how Wisconsin threw out its first punch, a little bit ago when Wisconsin took down top-ranked Ohio. As we've got Buckeye fans walking past. Hey, congrats on the win, guys. That was well-deserved on that one. Unfortunately, towards the end of the line is a Wisconsin fan. So, hey, kudos to that guy for sticking through with the friend group. That's a real friend.
I hope
that is a real one.
I hope at this point, like now we're at the stage, our team, Wisconsin's not going to win any of these games. I just hope that we continue to perpetuate how good of a brand we do have when it comes to tailgating, game day experience. I just hope all the visiting fans, Ohio State fans, the Buckeyes, will have Huskies fans here. Like I want them to have fun. I want them to have a good time. I just want them to go home and be like, yes, Madison, Wisconsin's a great college town. I had a blast. I love the people of Wisconsin. I love Wisconsin Badgers fans because that shows who we are. And we need a coach and an athletic director who also thinks that and understands what a gold mine it is to have Madison, Wisconsin as your college town, to have Camp Randall as the atmosphere, to have all the traditions that we do. We need someone to appreciate that, and I don't think leadership does right now.
844-770-3776, the Carbless Talking text line. Liz is more. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Jauch, ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay across ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee. Digi only over on our Milwaukee fans. Jumping on the Carbless Talking text line, we got a few texts to get to. One saying, I've been watching since 2002, also anonymous. Don't forget to say your name. We'd love to give you a shout out. Where are you watching? Where are you listening from? But they've been watching since 2002. When's the last time a head coach seemed genuinely excited or invested in the players on the sideline? Is there a deeper root in the program, a deeper thing to think about? What do you think?
I think you have to go back to Paul Chryst. It's not that long ago, but his players absolutely loved him. The end of his tenure, did it look like he was a little checked out? Yes. Was he probably a little checked out at that point? Didn't have a recruiting department? Yes. But you go back to that 2017 Wisconsin Badgers team. Oh, man, was Paul Chryst on one that season. He was fun to watch. Obviously very dry post-game press conferences, didn't say a whole ton to the media. But you remember that Orange Bowl against Miami where at the end of the game he's like, turnover chain my blanking ass. Oh, my gosh. He had so much swag. That went so hard. Oh, that was so awesome. So I think if you want a tangible moment, 2017 Orange Bowl, that was the last time you could just feel the excitement surrounding Wisconsin football and like, oh, baby, we have a national championship contender here in Madison, Wisconsin.
Man, it's really wild to think, too. Being around Paul Chryst, a lot calmer, but in those moments when you get to see that type of fire.
And that was what made it so awesome when he did get fired up because he's so relaxed. You could tell that, that grated him a bit, and for him to let loose in that moment was so awesome.
And that's just another issue is that we've talked about this on the jump around too several times. I brought it up. My memories are living through what you and Jim got to live through, and other teammates in our office here at ESPN Madison. Heck, even our ESPN Wisconsin teammates just wondering what the heck is happening. Where has Wisconsin gone? Where are the memories right now? At least we've got basketball season to look forward to. 24th ranked Badgers. They take the court tomorrow. The red and white scrimmage. Volleyball's doing well, but it's everybody wants to be around the winners. Everybody wants to be around the winners, and right now it's just like what is happening right now with Wisconsin. It's just very upsetting to think about that as just just as you could just tell from me, just sighing left and right. This is where we're at right now. This is where we're at, and it does not look like there are any signs of it getting potentially better. If the floor was by many national pundits, which we tried to write off, we tried to knock off and say that 3 wins. There's no way. We said, was it 7-6? We said 7 wins. We said 7-8 wins.
Our show, The Jump Around, did come to a consensus. 7-5 was our prediction. I wanted to go 8-4. I even bet money that they'd get 9 wins this year. I thought that was far-fetched, but then I bet money that Wisconsin would get 6 wins. I thought that was a lock. Turns out Vegas knew a lot more than me, but our producer, Owen, you mentioned how does it get better, or how does it look like it's going to get better soon, and he directs us to a YouTube comment from Parker Dutcher, who's been very active today, one of our great fans in the YouTube comments, always chiming in, appreciate it, Parker. Or actually, no, this is from Jason Noun. We do appreciate you, Parker. Keep chiming in. But Jason Noun, 4670, Badgers need to hire Iowa State Athletic Director Jamie Pollard. Pollard has UW ties and has Iowa State's football and basketball programs as good as they have ever been. And I really like that idea because he graduated from Oshkosh North. Thank you, Owen, for that little tidbit. I had no idea. But That's a guy who has ties to Wisconsin. He has ties to the high schools here. He would understand what kind of a program, what kind of a person Wisconsin needs to lead it, and he clearly has the chops to do it. Iowa State football under Matt Campbell has been fantastic. I think they had a tough loss to Cincinnati last week. Don't know how they did this week. But I'm assuming they bounce back. At the very least, they've been ranked most of the season, significantly better than Wisconsin. And the fact that he has proven he can be a successful athletic director and can bring the most important programs, the what's the word I'm looking for? The revenue-driving programs to success, that he can do that well is huge. Because going back to McIntosh, what did he do to earn the role as athletic director, other than be friends with Barry Alvarez?
Did get the resounding approval from Barry Alvarez. But
yes, which I respect Barry Alvarez's opinion, but I think even he would admit that he probably made the wrong choice right now. What did he do to earn it? I can't remember. Maybe I'm just not tapped in enough, but I can't remember something that McIntosh did to earn this role as athletic director at the University of Wisconsin. And to get someone like Jamie Pollard in the building, don't know if we'd be able to prime away from Iowa State. I love that idea. Thank you, Jason. And I just love the fact that we're getting some ideas, some positivity, a little forward thinking here, because I think this will be our new reality very soon, where we have to actually start looking at the big board at who our candidates for AD and football HC will be.
Yeah, Parker Dutcher asking again, honestly, who would be the prime candidate to be the next head coach? That is a good question to think about, to ask. We want to hear from you again, 844-770-3776, the Carpless Talk and Text line. List is more. Pablo Iglesias, Riley out here. This is Wisconsin, ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Again,
why not take both? Take Matt Campbell, too.
Shoot.
Just a little package deal.
Let's do it. What are they... What are they paying? Let's try to double it, even with the payout and all that right now. Hey, the Under Armour deal is coming up. Maybe Nike could come in and help out or something. I don't know.
The
Who
Under
knows?
Armour deal is up. They haven't signed. They haven't re-signed with Under Armour yet, or they haven't signed with Adidas or Nike. Unfortunately, Wisconsin not going to get nearly as much money, relative money, inflation over the past years. It'll be more expensive than their one back in 2015. But proportionally, they ain't going to get nearly as much as they did back then. So at this point, uniform providers, I think Nike makes the best uniforms. Under Armours are very solid. If Wisconsin experimented more, which they don't, Adidas's suck. But whoever gives you the most money, just
I think Adidas is the reason why Penn State was
exactly.
able to do
so
what
that's
they
the
did.
thing. If Adidas,
who knows?
I'll be the biggest Adidas fan in the world if they throw.
Don't
a
bite the hand that feeds you,
exactly.
Riley.
No,
don't bite the hand that feeds you.
I agree. If a uniform provider, if Russell Athletic, New Balance gives us a very lucrative deal, I'll be their biggest fan.
What's the? I'm trying to think of the NBA players that have shoe deals with like China or something like that too. Why the heck not? Bring anybody in.
Care.
Bring anybody in. Well, save money and save the planet. Ditch the energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar, your local solar energy company based in Madison. Visit everlightsolar.com to learn more and make the switch today. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics and also Riley for more than 65 years. Gordon Flesch Company, by the way, has been providing cutting-edge technology for companies of all sizes as the nation's largest Canon and Lexmark dealer. That's business technology managed, baby. Visit gflesh.com to learn more. Let's open this up. Call in the Carpless Talk and Text line, 844-770-3776. Head coaching candidates that seem like, hey, this might be the right person, or what are the characteristics, too? I know you guys talked about this last week with Cory Sparks, and exactly what are we looking for in the next head coach and potentially even the next athletic director for Wisconsin Athletics. We'll talk about that and much more. Hour 2 of Wisconsin College Game Day continues here on ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Jauch. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber's offices. One call, that's all.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesh Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, service, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Don't be haunted by high prices this Halloween. Metro Ford of Madison has frightfully good deals waiting just for you. Right now, drive home the all-new 2025 Ford F-150 or F-150 STX, or escape the ordinary in a 2025 Ford Escape, both with just 2.9% APR for up to 66 months, only $16.41 per month for $1,000 finance. But hurry, these scary good offers vanish November 3rd. Visit MetroFordOfMadison.com today, where the deals are a treat, never a trick.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Open daily for lunch and dinner, Liberty Station serves American comfort food with regional touches using many locally sourced ingredients. The bar at Liberty Station offers vintage cocktails created in a classic style, local craft beers, plus a wide array of wine options. And be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area. Liberty Station, conveniently located just off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
'Tis the season to be planning your holiday events. Whether it's a party for 10 or 10,000, Celebrations has the sound, video, lighting, special effects, and custom-themed decor to make it the best party ever. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With us on your team, your Halloween, holiday, or New Year's party will be easy to plan and super fun to attend. DJs, casino games, lighting, and photo booths are just the beginning at CelebrationsEntertainment.com. That's CelebrationsEntertainment.com.
It's a bird bash at Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to $50,000 cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card this October for a chance to win. Wouldn't you like to rake in a huge pile of cash? Bird Bash, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info at Potawatomi.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
ESPN Madison is your home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bumps it, left side, powers it down. What a rally, and Wisconsin comes out on top.
From early season showdowns to a run for the national title, hear every match this season on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Blocked by Bucky.
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball on ESPN Madison is presented by Steinhoffels and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also brought to you by Gordon Flesh Company and Goodman's Jewelers.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Service. There's never a fee until they win your case. Gruber Law Offices has been serving the state of Wisconsin for over 35 years. One call, Riley.
That's all.
That sure is the case. Pablo Iglesias here, Riley Jauch. This is ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay on ESPN Wisconsin. And man, Riley, we're here at the Village Green, which, hey, we're also asking the Carbon Talk and Text line, 844-770-3776. Hey, Riley and Pablo, Clarice wants to know what our favorite Village Green burger is. And, man, so first off, Riley, This is your first time here.
It is. It is. It's been fantastic so far.
Man, this is a good bite.
Service has been sensational. We've been treated very well. This burger is great. We got the double, the special today on Saturday. Double cheeseburger, a couple quarter pounders, and some fries. Delicious. I love it here.
I got to give it to him, too, because I started out the show. I came out pretty hot. Maybe part of it was a little bit of anger I needed to get out. I said to Riley, too, at some point in the break, I wonder how much of this is potential hangriness, too. So this has been settling it down, but, hey, at the same time, though, too, still a little fired up in terms of where we're at right now, in terms of where Wisconsin's going. I asked before we change over to the second hour, or we're in the second hour of Wisconsin College GameDay, who exactly would you want as the head coach? Even potential athletic director examples, too. So let us know on the Cardinals Talk and Text line, 844-377-30, or 844-377. I'm fumbling it. 844-770-3776.
Bingo.
Shout out to our producer, Owen. Owen Diffel over the Everlight Solar Studio, putting that up on the YouTube screen as well. 844-770-3776. List is more. Let us know who you're thinking. I believe we got a caller right now, too, jumping on over in Madison.
I believe Brady is on the line.
Brady from Madison joining us on the ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay. Brady, what's up? How we feeling out there right now?
Hey, guys, how's it going? You know, I was back in the day when I was in school, we went to the Village Green, and they had the Big Daddy. It was a pretty good burger there. I'm not sure if the owners are still there, but that was the burger to get.
Oh, man.
Okay, I don't see it on the menu. What was on it?
Oh, no longer. I mean, it was a double patty, definitely bacon. I can't even remember, but it was ham was on there. It was a big burger. I will just leave it at that, but it was definitely a good burger there.
All right. Do you have any thoughts on Wisconsin football for us?
Well, here's the deal. I think Wisconsin football, we got to get rid of John or Fickle here, and I think we got to go John Gruden. I think that's the route that we got to go. If we don't go John Gruden, I think we got to leave it at Pat Fitzgerald. I think that's the more Wisconsin football route. That guy will bring in some. We got to get back to our roots, right? And if we look at Northwestern football back in the day, that's kind of the route that Wisconsin football is at. This pass raid football, it's not us, and we got to own the line of scrimmage, and I think that's where Pat Fitzgerald really, really owns it.
Okay, Brady, I thank you for the call. I totally understand your thought process behind wanting Pat Fitzgerald, but can you explain, and I've heard a lot of fans throw out John Gruden, why do you think John Gruden would be a good coach for the Wisconsin football team?
I think a lot of college football has changed in the last 3 years, you could say. John Gruden brings that, marketing aspect of bringing players in. You're going to leave high school and you're going to go play for John Gruden. I think that in itself brings in players. And Wisconsin's not a place that you can draw, right? Like, you're not drawing in players, these top prospects, just by bringing in Pat Fitzgerald, for example. You're not just going to bring in these top 5-star, 4-star recruits. You bring a guy like John Gruden, who's coached at the highest levels in the NFL, who's, he's got a name for himself. You bring in John Gruden, he's going to bring in your top recruits, and I think that's the aspect, the marketing aspect of bringing in John Gruden. Pat Fitzgerald, maybe he's he's the more, logical coach, I would say. Mm-hmm. But John Gruden is your, today's age, marketing, NIL. We're getting our guys. Let's go win football games.
All right. Again, thank you for the call, Brady. I could not disagree with you more on both accounts. I do appreciate your explanation. Yes, with the utmost respect, because it takes guts to call in on a radio show and risk someone disagreeing with you. But I could not disagree more. I don't like John Gruden at all for exactly the reason you said you liked him. He's a marketing guy right now. He's not a football coach anymore. He's an influencer, man. This Spider White 2 banana. Like,
you gotta pound the rock.
Yeah, I
if
think
you
a lot of
people,
a lot of Badgers fans just fell in love with the fact that he gave that speech in the summer. And he's given that speech to every single college he's toured at. He only came here because of Barstool Big Cat, and Gruden is a Barstool employee. That is who he is now. He is not a football coach anymore. He hasn't coached, I believe, since 2021, and he's never coached college football. Just having a big name and getting players doesn't win you football games. Look at Bill Belichick and his abomination that he has at North Carolina right now. They're struggling, and I trust Bill Belichick a hell of a lot more than I do John Gruden. I love John Gruden. He was a great football coach, but that is not who he is anymore, and I think he would be a terrible fit for Wisconsin. And I think you brought up the marketing. I think Fickell, that's why we got him. He was supposed to be this dynamite recruiter, and that hasn't worked out. So no, thank you, nada whatsoever. I don't want John Gruden. Pat Fitzgerald, I don't want him either. I understand that a little more. I just think, what did he do? Maybe he could be a transitional coach here at Wisconsin, where he just sets the floor again. He raises Wisconsin's floor back to 5 wins, back to 6 wins at best. But Pat Fitzgerald is not going to
3 at this rate.
Yeah, true.
We take
but
3 right
Pat Fitzgerald he won the Big Ten West twice. Maybe, I think back in his early tenure, he was very successful at Northwestern. But for the large majority of his time with the Wildcats, he didn't do anything special. So I am not the biggest fan of Pat Fitzgerald. I think he would understand a lot more about Wisconsin and what it takes to win here than a John Gruden. But no, thank you. I'm out on both Pat Fitzgerald and John Gruden. But thank you for trying to come up with solutions, Brady. I appreciate that.
Brady, appreciate you. I'm on the Pat Fitzgerald train if he's one of the options. I'm not saying he is the option, though. So in terms of where I'm at, though, I'm with Riley on this one, though, in terms of John Gruden not being that. And shout out to Brett and Eau Claire on the Carbless Talk and text line. Liz is more. Gruden is like UW Green Bay hiring Doug Gottlieb.
Yes.
I think that is a perfect
fantastic comp, Brett.
Because let's look at it this way. Yes, both coaches were part of controversies in their own different ways. Unfortunately, Gruden was very much kicked out for those specific reasons. Fitzgerald was speculation, ended up getting cleared.
Yeah, he got totally cleared of everything.
Cleared.
So that is not the issue I have with Pat Fitzgerald or Gruden.
So that opens up a little bit of the door there. I think I see where you're coming from, though, Riley, too, in terms of how it resets things, how he might at least very much at this rate. We're just begging for a coach right now that can at least show some type of progression versus a regression. That 2 wins right now, if that's where you're at in the 3rd season of trying to take over this program and you have somehow gotten significantly worse, that's just a mind-blowing thing. Bill from Madison now on the Carbless Talk and text line joining us. Bill, what's up, man? Hey, you got a food recommendation here at the Village Green, or you want to air out some stuff here over at Wisconsin football? What's going on?
We'll take both.
Yeah, why not?
I've only eaten at the Village Green once, so I couldn't really give you any recommendations there, but I do remember it was good.
Okay, perfect.
Just to circle back with John Gruden, the big flashy hire, the guy who's coaching the NFL. Look what's going on in the UNC right now with Belichick. That's what everyone was saying. He's going to bring in all kinds of guys. Everyone's going to want to play for him, and they stink. They're just as bad as the Badgers.
Yeah, UNC, actually, I threw out the stat that Wisconsin's 128th out of 134 for total offense right now. The only Power 4 team worse than Wisconsin is UNC at 131 out of 134. So hell to the nah on John Gruden. But continue.
No, I'm not on Gruden. But as far as I have heard whispers that, with McCarthy moving back to Green Bay, I wouldn't mind seeing him if he wanted the job. I wouldn't hate that hire. I wouldn't mind trying to get Jim Leonard back. What concerns me is he hasn't really found any coaching jobs anywhere else to get more experience. I think.
Bill, with the Jim Leonard thing, here's where I'm at. I love Jim Leonard, and as I said earlier in the show too, I think the saving grace in the season where they had decided to move on from Paul Chryst, fire him in the middle of the season, and go with Jim Leonard. That was essentially Mac saying to him, probably in a different way, this is your shot. This is your time to try to prove yourself if you could be the head coach of Wisconsin football. And I think the other side.
I absolutely agree.
And the tough thing, though, too, is with Jim Leonard and being around him, great guy, great personality, loved being around Wisconsin football. But in terms of what is next in taking that next step, in terms of not just being a head coach, but you're also the recruiter. You're making the visits. You're bringing these guys in. You're working day in and day out. And I'm not saying that Jim Leonard thought this was just a 9-to-5 job, but there are a lot of different things. We talk about Bill Belichick, too. This is not just you can go back and forth between the league and you can go into college, is that it's shown that how college football, just within the last few years alone, has been such a big thing in terms of what the head coach does, that you need a general manager. Big-name general manager never hurts you either, but you also need more to this recruiting staff. You can't just have one person leading the entire recruiting staff and hope that that's the guy who's going to make the visits left and right. You need to keep building. There's so many different things. Everybody's wearing a bunch of different hats. So going back to this whole thing, I love Jim Leonard. I think he is a Wisconsin guy. He's a guy who bleeds Wisconsin through and through. Did I think that the way that the exit happened in terms of how they decided to move on from him, does that hurt? Does that sting? Yes. But even if I were Chris McIntosh right now and had the option, I don't know if Jim Leonard is the right guy, even if I'm throwing the bag at him.
I do think there is one obvious one that's just hanging out there. It's James Franklin.
Yeah.
I know he hasn't been able to win the big game at Penn State, but I mean, look what he did for that program. He made them elite. He just couldn't win the big games, which I don't like. But I mean, if we're looking for kind of what really we need is a complete kind of rebuild from the bottom up when it comes to recruiting and everything else. And I think I saw an article today that James Franklin said that he was eager to get back into coaching right away. So, I mean, he's not taking, it doesn't sound like he wants to take a year off and, just enjoy his severance money. If he wants to get back in, I think there should at least a phone call should be made.
Yeah. Yep. I totally agree, Bill. And I like that because he actually – I've gone back and forth on it, but his name didn't immediately come to mind when we posed this question because my biggest worry with James Franklin is, does he want the Wisconsin job? That's my biggest worry. I think he could thrive here at Wisconsin. He rebuilt Penn State after the Sandusky scandal when everyone thought that program was dead. And he built that up right back into a perennial championship contender. He did only win the one Big Ten championship against us back in 2016. And like you said, lost a penchant for losing big games. But, man, how nice would it be to be in those big games again? But do we have that kind of money? Or are we willing to throw that money out there again? That's what I'm not sure about, Bill. I think it's a great suggestion. I just don't know if the Board of Regents, the Chancellor, and whoever hopefully the new athletic director is, if not Chris McIntosh, are they willing to take another swing as big as Fickle? And we'll see.
The James Franklin situation,
I like Fickle was a hire when we hired him. It just didn't work out.
Yep, same. Totally
For
agree.
whatever reason, for all of his quarterbacks getting hurt, which is, an argument in his favor. He's been playing with his, second and third string quarterbacks for, I think the stat was he's played with his first string preferred quarterback for 11 quarters since he's been here. His what is it, his third year now?
Yeah.
So
it's not much.
I mean, I get that, but like I said, I think it's worth a call.
Oh yeah.
Same with McCarthy. Give him a call. I don't think McCarthy would want it, but I wouldn't hate that hire either.
No, I would not hate McCarthy either, and I actually explained why I'd really like Mike McCarthy last week on this show. I think just from the base that he would totally understand Wisconsin, the university, what it takes to be boots on the ground and get the fan base invested and excited again. I think he would be perfect at that. Would he be able to handle the NIL and the recruiting? That remains to be seen. I feel like we don't have too many examples of an NFL coach transitioning and being very successful in this specific new era of college football. So that's my biggest knock on that. But I'd be fired up. I would be fired up if we hired Mike McCarthy.
Appreciate the call,
Bill. I think he could recruit better. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Last thing. Go for it.
I was just, my last thing. I think McCarthy could recruit better in Wisconsin and Wisconsin players that, and keep our players in better than Gruden could, better than Belichick could, or some other flashy, whatever has been NFL head coach. Because McCarthy's not a has been. Gruden is, Belichick is.
Exactly.
But that'll be my last point. Taking my call, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Bill.
Bill from Madison calling in. Hey, we'll take another call over on the Cardinals Talk and Text line. Charlie from Madison calling in. He was at the game, too.
Oh,
Charlie,
boy.
you are on the Wisconsin.
I'm sorry you had to be there in person for that.
Yes. You are on ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay. Charlie, how are we doing? How are we recovering after that?
I've been a season ticket holder for 32 years. First year since I graduated college. That's when we bought season tickets. I have a son that plays on the team. So when I say this, I got to ask a question. You guys want a magic wand and fix this? When are we going to start paying NIL money? Right now, we're second in the Big Ten when it comes to spending money on NIL. So until we start spending money, what we see is what we get. Secondly, this is the 6th year in a row that the top 3 players from the state of Wisconsin are leaving and going elsewhere. We need that to stop. We stopped recruiting the state of Wisconsin. We have offensive linemen that are going to Minnesota. We have defensive linemen that are playing for Iowa State. The starting center for Ohio State today was from up north Wisconsin. We got to get back to our roots. And until we do that, I don't care who coaches. And I'm going to give Fickle the benefit of the doubt because I don't think he forgot how to coach. We are playing with a third-string left tackle, a third-string center, a second-string tight end. Our running backs have been banged up, and now we have a third-string quarterback. I don't care if Nick Saban is our coach. With that being said, we are going to lose. We got to get a grip on NIL money. That's the way it's going to be fixed. And you guys, when I'm listening to all of these coaches that you guys are bouncing around, James Franklin hasn't done anything. He's always lost the big game. He's like 2 for 20. So if you want to continue going down that path, go right ahead. But my suggestion would be take a step back and think about John Gruden. I heard that you guys don't like it, but just think about this. After Oregon, we got a bye week. Why wouldn't we bring in a Gruden or a Fitzgerald right away for them to finish out the year instead of them being an interim coach? Because that way, all of our recruits that we have coming in that are jumping ship left and right might want to stay. And I can tell you this much, regardless if you think John Gruden's a has-been or not, we instantaneously get a quarterback that would want to play underneath him. I'll listen to your thoughts.
We appreciate the passion.
Thank you, Charlie.
Sure. Charlie, thank you for the passion. Thank you for that perspective, too. And thank you for sharing that. Let me ask you this real quick. Just the message to fans, too, because you bring up a lot of great points. You bring up that NIL spend. It is a dog-eat-dog world right now in terms of where we are at with NIL and spending and where we are spending and where we are allocating all of these funds. I will agree with you on that one. There does need to be guardrails. There needs to be guardrails. In terms of James Franklin, too, and where he's at and how he's come close to playing in the big game but hasn't necessarily won the bigger games or the big games to get to that next level is another thing. But let me ask you this, the message to fans too, because we talked about fan apathy as well. We've talked about that, the chance of whatever it is in the stadium, the fire Fickles, even if he's saying, hey, put this on me, not on the kids, just the message to the fan base right now that's just hurting, that's struggling, that's just trying to find different scenarios, trying to run away from something versus running to something. What's your message to the fans right now?
Do we still have Charlie on the line, Owen? All right, that is okay.
I believe we lost it.
Hey, what?
We got the passion. We got the passion at the end of the day.
Yeah,
and that's what matters.
And I wonder if he.
I wonder what the message is.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of his points that we need to up our NIL spending. That is the name of the game in this current state of college athletics. I think we need to put a wall back around the state of Wisconsin when it comes to recruiting. There are uber talented players coming from Wisconsin that we are losing out on, that are going to Indiana, that are going to Notre Dame, that are going to Ohio State, even Minnesota, like Charlie mentioned. But I don't know how. And again, I'm glad that he had a solution and had a thought process behind it. But how in the world does firing Fickell, which he should be fired, but then in 2 weeks hiring John Gruden or Pat Fitzgerald to coach the rest of the season, unless you were somehow able to get them on an
this
absurd,
isn't a Doc Rivers situation
an absurd
with the Milwaukee
sweetheart
Bucks
deal where they're willing to coach and be evaluated for the last 6 weeks of the season or 5 weeks of the season, whatever, and then we reevaluate and then decide if we want to sign him to a long-term contract. That's not feasible. That's Pollyanna-ish. We can't do that. We're going to have to wait, and they're gonna have to suck it up, deal with an interim that won't be hired full-time at the end of the season for the last stretch, and then you have to spend the offseason making the right decision. Or hopefully right now they're making phone calls. They're looking into who they want to lead this football team into the future right now and will eventually pull the trigger when the time is right. But even if they brought in someone right now, you can't do that unless you sign them to a long-term deal. So you can't just have an evaluation period. So that was where Charlie lost me on that. And I don't think John Gruden, I don't care what kind of cachet he has. That's not guarantee that he's going to be able to coach college football and run a program. He is an influencer for Barstool Sports right now. And he was a fantastic coach. He's won a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers back in, 2002, I think?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, 2 decades ago. He was a fantastic football coach. This is a different era. Get over it, in the words of Stephen A. Smith. He's an influencer now. No to John Gruden. I don't care what kind of cachet he brings. I do not believe he is a good fit for this Wisconsin football program. But appreciate the call, Charlie. The passion, you could hear it in his voice. And he has a son on the football team, so I'm assuming he has a little more insider information to the NIL situation than we do. So I appreciate that.
Well, hey, Riley, winners go to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, the casino with the highest payouts in the area. Go be a winner at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. They're open right now and stay open until 2 a.m. on a Monday. Hey, why not? We could make a late night out of this. We could stop by over Ho-Chunk if we want. Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. More spins, more wins, more fun. And also, our friends at Liberty Station are running a game day shuttle program during home games this football season. For just $20, get a Coors Light and a round-trip ride to Camp Randall. It all starts at Liberty Station, American Tavern and Smokehouse, located off the Beltline on Rim Rock Road. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Jauch, this is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. We are live at the Village Green in Middleton, finishing out the what a rough one it's been. Wisconsin falling 34-0 against top-ranked Ohio State as the frustration, the vents, keep it all coming. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly opened Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
Jordan Love was not the MVP candidate he was through the first 2 weeks yesterday.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe.
I think he's a good quarterback. I think he has the potential to be a top 5 quarterback. But when you make decisions like he did yesterday on that interception throw, that's what prevents you from going from good to great.
Live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also available on the ESPN Wisconsin app and wherever you get your podcasts.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns, it's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Dealer, whether you need to purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford, Metro Ford is the place to go. Visit Metro Ford of Madison on the east side or go to their website, metrofordofmadison.com, to see this month's specials and browse their inventory. Riley, we got a quick one right here. A little bit of a scoreboard update. What you got for us?
All right, Pablo, let's take you around the country, get you posted on everything else.
Need a vacation after that.
Yeah, real. Around the state of college football, starting with yesterday as the Minnesota Golden Gophers, P.J. Fleck knocked off Matt Rule and the freshly ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers 24-6. Nebraska still searching for a win while being ranked in the AP poll. I believe they haven't won as a ranked team since 2016. So Matt Rule, don't know if he's heading to Penn State anytime soon. Louisville with a shocking upset over number 2 Miami. They win that one last night by a score of 24-21. UAB, Memphis, also a very short-lived time in the AP poll. Alabama, Birmingham knocking off the 22nd ranked Tigers 31-24 today.
Oh, baby.
Chaos in the American Conference. Oklahoma with a bounce-back performance after losing the Red River shootout last week to Texas. They defeat the Gamecocks today 26-17. 2-7 victors over South Carolina. Georgia Tech, they weren't favored today over Duke, despite being the 12th-ranked team in the country. They handled business, knocking off the Blue Devils 27-18. Down in Nashville, Tennessee, number 17 Vanderbilt takes care of the Tigers. They beat LSU 31-24. LSU, my opinion, definitely not deserving of that 10 next to their number. Maybe they'll flip with Vanderbilt. The SEC as a whole, grossly overrated, but alas, so it goes. Number 7, upsets galore this week in college football. Number 7, Texas Tech, the billion-dollar squad. Just proof that maybe you can buy a championship. Falling today to Arizona State, the Sun Devils knocking off a top 10 opponent under Kenny Dillingham yet again. They win 26-22 over the Red Raiders. Kenny Dillingham actually was suggested earlier today by one of our YouTube commenters as a potential head coach. Don't know if we'd be able to rip him away from Arizona State, but alas, shootout down in Athens, Georgia, as the Bulldogs knock off the Rebels 43-35. Indiana struggled early. They got down to Michigan State, got a little scare from the Spartans, but they took control in the second half. The Hoosiers win 38-13. You all know Ohio State smoked Wisconsin today, 34-0. Wisconsin falls to 2-5 on the season, 0-4 in the Big Ten. Cincinnati, fresh off a big upset win over Iowa State last week, beat Oklahoma State, or is beating Oklahoma State 7-3. 4 minutes left in quarter number 1. The Holy War out west. Utah, BYU, 23-15, tied up at 0, scoreless, nearing the end of quarter number 1. Auburn up 7-3 over 16 Missouri near the end of the first quarter as well. 19th ranked South Florida looking to lay claim to the entire state of Florida. They're up 21-3 over Florida Atlantic. Number 13, Notre Dame up 14-10 on 20 USC. The battle for the bejeweled shillelagh right now. A close one in the second quarter. Hopefully that rivalry continues. The Crimson Tide of Alabama up 7-0 on number 11 ranked Tennessee. Texas up 7-0 over Kentucky. Washington State up a couple of scores on Virginia. 18th ranked Cavaliers 17-7. Wazoo. Oregon, golly, this game's over. 42-3 over Rutgers. And last and maybe least, Texas A&M, the 4th ranked Aggies, up 10 on Arkansas late in the 4th, 45-35. That was your Metro Ford of Madison scoreboard update.
Pizza Hut delivers a win every time with the big dinner box, just $19.99. That's 2 medium, 1 topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Feed the whole team for one unbeatable price. Find the nearest location or order online at pizzahut.com. Feed good times only from the Hut. He is Riley Jauch. I'm Pablo Iglesias. That was a scoreboard update. We got a lot more to get into as we wrap up ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, brewed by Coors Light.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Start your career where the road to success is paved in coffee. At Dunkin' Donuts, we're now hiring crew members and hourly shift leaders at our locally owned locations. Dunkin' offers flexible schedules, employee discounts, health and dental benefits, and paid time off. Plus, bolster your resume with our own leadership training program and even scholarship opportunities. Up to $1,500 per semester. Text Team Spirit to 85000 or visit teamtmart.com/careers to apply. Dunkin', America runs on you.
Electric bills are out of control, but with federal incentives, you can go solar with zero upfront cost and start saving hundreds a month. Badgerland Exteriors and Solar is a local and family-owned company, and they make the switch to solar simple. No pressure, no hassle, just honest.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
It's frightening, but the rewards are thrilling if you're brave enough to enter the prize-filled graveyard at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. On Saturday, October 25th, 3 brave souls will enter the graveyard every half hour from 1 p.m. till 5. These 27 winners will each have a chance of escaping with $3,000 in cash. That's up to $81,000 in total prizes. So be here for Graveyard Grabs, the scariest game in town. Grab your friends and get to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973, and they're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether it's the sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none and has exactly what you're looking for. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and check out the all-new 2024 Honda Prologue, Honda's first all-electric SUV, or browse their selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Canopy Wealth Management carries a long-standing tradition of working in the best interest of their clients every day. The team at Canopy emphasizes building local relationships and believes that values matter and strengthen their communities. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity isn't just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Jauch here. We are live at Village Green as we are wrapping things up. What an event session this has been, kind of, Riley, after Wisconsin's 34-0 loss to Ohio State. As just a lot of questions continue. What is going to happen next? Who is, if it's not Luke Fickell, who? If it's not Chris McIntosh, who? A lot of questions as we kind of keep diving into this. And now we've got more callers on the talk and text line. We've got Steve from Sauk City joining us now. Steve, you are on ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay. What's up, man?
Doing great. Aside from the Badgers, how are you guys?
Yeah, not too shabby. I think we're in the same boat. Got great food here, great company. And we're all commiserating together.
And we've got our Saturday night ahead of us.
Yes, let's go.
We can watch some other football if we really wanted to, see some other games and try to enjoy ourselves with what we have for the rest of the day.
Fair. Okay, my little 2 cents is it's a business, right? Mm-hmm. James Franklin is, to my reading, to what I understand, he's not guaranteed his money. It's not. He's got to get a job. Yep. And they'll pay the difference. How would you like to rebuild the program on Penn State's dime? That's my question. Yeah, and you free up some money to put into the NIL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not a bad idea.
That's my take on it. And if you sit down and behind closed doors, it's only a couple of years. The only thing is maybe he's not interested in that based on what he said today, is he wants to go win a national championship, but the kind of guy he is, I bet you he wants to win a national championship in the Big Ten, if he can. But that's just my 2 cents on it, and that's aside from the game. The game kicked the field goal. But whatever. I'm not making $7 million.
Yeah, neither are we, Steve. Neither are we. Thank you for the call. Appreciate that. Yeah, and I like that. I think if James Franklin is legitimately interested, because I did hear what he had to say this morning on College Game Day. If he's interested in Wisconsin, 100% you explore that. You try and make something work. I think James Franklin is clearly currently the best option out there. Would he be the best fit at Wisconsin? I'm not sure. He wants to win a national championship. Obviously, we here at Wisconsin want to win national championships as well. But as Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike has said on our show before, that you can't win national championships at Wisconsin. I don't totally agree with that, but the sentiment is you have to operate a certain way. You have to build a certain way here at Wisconsin, starting with in-state recruiting, tough running, so on and so forth. And does James Franklin want to do that? Does James Franklin want to enter a total rebuild here at Wisconsin? Does he know what kind of undertaking that's going to be? How quickly does he want to win a national championship again? Those are the questions you have to ask him and yourself as the organization, as the University of Wisconsin-Madison. So I think it's a great idea. I would love it. Also, if Penn State has to foot some of the bill, that would be sensational. James Franklin's a fantastic candidate. But would he be the right fit? Or would this be another fickle situation where he's a good coach, but it's wrong place, wrong time? That's my biggest worry about that, and that's why I'm just a little hesitant on James Franklin. I don't know if Wisconsin would be a destination for him and somewhere that he'd really be bought into, which concerns me.
Steve, we appreciate you we appreciate you calling in here on the Carlos Talk and text line. List is more. Again, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. If it's on Penn State's time, why not do it? But appreciate your call, my friend. It's just trying to figure out what happens next. Is that the move that Chris McIntosh wants to do? Is Chris McIntosh even going to be the person who decides to make this move? That's another question that we feel like we're just going to be asking for ourselves. It's not going to be solved within the next few days. Who knows? It's step by step, but we'll see how it goes. Experience a banking relationship where your goals are their priority. As a community with a commitment to Dane County, Starion Bank redefines local banking in the Madison area. Visit one of their convenient branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie, or Monona today, or online at starionbank.com. We'll wrap things up here. ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Jauch, as we have one more thing to talk about. Chalmers' drive of the game, and just a few more thoughts before we get into the Oregon Ducks coming up next week, and then some. Who knows what happens in these next 7 days before Wisconsin takes off for the Pacific Northwest. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
Continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Don't be haunted by high prices this Halloween. Metro Ford of Madison has frightfully good deals waiting just for you. Right now, drive home the all-new 2025 Ford F-150 or F-150 STX. Or escape the ordinary in a 2025 Ford Escape, both with just 2.9% APR for up to 66 months. Only $16.41 per month for $1,000 finance. But hurry, these scary good offers vanish November 3rd. Visit MetroFordOfMadison.com today, where the deals are a treat, never a trick.
When it's game day in Madison, you know what that means. Pizza Hut time. Unlimited large one-topping pizzas, just $7.99 each. Or your team at home can load them up with 3 toppings for $9.99. Perfect for kickoffs, watch parties, or that fourth quarter comeback from your living room. Fuel your crew, fill the table, and keep the good times rolling all game long with Pizza Hut. Order now for delivery or carryout at pizzahut.com or on the app. Pizza Hut. Feed good times.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
It's the best time of the year, and you know what that means for me. It's tailgating season. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. For my friends at Door County Distillery, locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. If you're in Madison tailgating before a game, there's only one thing to do to elevate your experience, and that's bring it with Door County Distillery. Whether that's the cherry brandy for your old-fashioned, the single malt whiskey, or any of the gins, vodkas, and in-betweens, Door County Distillery has you covered. Find the retailer nearest you at doorcountydistillery.com.
From the baseball playoffs to regular season football, Prize Picks is the best way to win cash watching our favorite teams. Which players are going off? Which ones are overhyped? Well, make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Prize Picks now offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Prize Picks also offers injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Join millions of users. Sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. Download the Prize Picks app today and use that code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
What a run!
It's gone! Andrew Vaughn ties in the bottom of the first inning.
The Brewers gave it a run.
See you later! Caleb Durbin, turn out the lights!
Congrats on an unforgettable season.
And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Would you like fries with that? 12 in a row for the crew.
We are Madison's home for the Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app store.
At celebrationsentertainment.com to get started today. Saw Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment at our tailgate today. Excited, too. I'm going to be emceeing an event with him on Thursday. He's going to be the auctioneer, though. I think he is the professional at that one. So very excited.
I can see that.
Let Jeffrey cook. Let him do his thing. I said I'm going to be the pretty face that introduces one speaker after the other at the event. Very excited to be a part of that with Celebrations Entertainment. Fun, memorable events. All right, Riley Jauch, it is the final segment here of Wisconsin College Game Day. It's been fun, too, to fill the shoes of Cory Sparks. Thank you for letting me be here. Owen Dimple as well. You guys are helping me keep the boat afloat right now as Cory Sparks is actually in Columbus, Ohio.
I know,
too.
oddly enough.
Yeah, funny enough. Well, appreciate you guys. Thank you for everybody also listening here on ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee. We're live here at the Village Green in Middleton. It is time now for the Chalmers Drive of the Game.
It's the drive of the game.
He's got the corner, and the Badgers touchdown answers quickly.
On ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
The Badgers punctuating and pulling away.
The drive of the game is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers, helping guys score for more than 25 years.
Well, Riley, they say pressure creates diamonds. I don't know exactly what happened today on that field. I don't know if Ohio State really felt the pressure going out there, but the drive of the game, got to say, honestly, it was getting hyped up when we got in here. We saw the fake punt that ended up not even really being an executed called fake punt. It was it was a gut instinct on that one.
Just Sean West being a dog.
An absolute dog. And you know what? Somewhere, some way, Brad Norman, who was part of the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day pregame crew, I'm sure he was applauding that.
He texted us. He was very excited watching that fake punt. Our punting unit was sensational today. Sean West was the backup. Atticus Bertrams had a great game. But if you want to be depressed, even more so, we really haven't done any game analysis today because there's no reason to. We've seen this story every week, but a little bit of game analysis for you. Wisconsin today only had 3 drives longer than 3 plays.
Fantastic.
That's it. You had a 9-play drive in the second quarter, the 10-play drive off the fake punt, and a 9-yard drive that ended on downs to end the game. So that was it. 3 drives over 3 downs. That's it for Wisconsin. Really sad. But one shining moment on the defense, one glimmer. Young guy, my guy, Cooper Catalano, the freshman. How the hell do you do, young man? Led the team in tackles today.
How do you coop?
Exactly. Thank you. That was good. Leading tackler for high school in the state of Wisconsin, Cooper Catalano from Germantown, had 7 tackles today, 1 TFL. Leading the team, the next closest was Emilio Agard, who also had some nice energy today. I liked what I saw from Emilio Agard today. He had 6 tackles as well as a pass breakup. So
the upside with this team, too, that is your Chalmers Jewelers drive of the game. The upside of this, too, Riley, is how the young guys have been playing, how the young guys at least – Luke Fickell, I will give him this. He has put the young guys out there. He's tested his true freshmen. They have, I guess in this situation, have they really risen to the occasion? It is what it is, but you can't put too much pressure on these guys. Unless you're really a Jeremiah Smith type of player, who was a dark horse Heisman candidate last season potentially, or just the numbers that he put up. Look, man, it is tough, but I do love seeing the true freshman out there. That, once again, has been your Chalmers Jewelers drive of the game. Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealer. Whether you need to purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford, Metro Ford is the place to go. Visit Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today, or go to their website, metrofordofmadison.com, to see this month's specials and browse their inventory. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Jauch here, finishing off the final drive of ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay. And Riley, again, it's kind of crazy that I did not think about this until you said it, that we have not actually had a lot of game analysis. But again, we expected this almost to go this way. And the fact that, again, we are not shocked, like that is just a big thing. I said this a little bit on the jump around, and I want to expand on this and see what you think. I feel like you know the phrase how Wisconsin is, or just in general, the phrase of being a wolf in sheepskin. I think it's the reverse right now for Wisconsin, is that Wisconsin is a sheep in wolf skin over these last few years, trying to be the dominant team. They know exactly where they're at. They know the field that they're in, and they're trying to act. I said this early in the season. I thought they were going to walk the walk and talk the talk. But you know what? I'm taking my steps back. As much as they were saying all the right things, and convincing us. Clearly, that has not been the case.
Yeah, I don't think they're even a sheep in wolf's clothing. I think they're just a sheep. Like the team itself, it's a bunch of lambs. I mean, you have a couple dogs, you have a couple wolves, like Cooper Catalano, like Emilio Agard, who performed valiantly. Obviously, very difficult when you got to cover Cardell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. Tate had 111 yards, 2 TDs. Jeremiah Smith had 97 yards. That's a tough assignment, but you had a handful of guys, and we talked about this, who are playing tough, who are trying, who you can tell are giving it their all out there.
You can feel the pain.
Then you have a vast majority who it seems are just kind of going through it. They're trying, but they're just there. They're there to pick up a paycheck, which is crazy. That's where we're at right now. But I think now, I said it at the top, when is enough? If this isn't enough, I don't know what is. I don't know when Fickell will be fired, how Wisconsin will move forward, when they'll decide to move forward, because it needs to happen. But just another atrocious football game for the Wisconsin Badgers, and it's not getting any easier.
It cannot be solved quickly, unfortunately. This is going to be a long-term project here. Is Luke Fickell the guy? That's the biggest question here. For Riley Jauch and our producer over in the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, Owen Dimple, I'm Pablo Iglesias. This has been ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay on ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee, presented by Coors Light. When you need to refresh on game day, choose a beer that is as cold as the Rockies, cold filtered, cold lager, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. When the mountains are blue, you know what to do, Riley.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Once again, Riley Jauch, Pablo Iglesias here. Thank you to the Village Green for having us here in Middleton. This has been ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay. Badgers play Oregon next week. We'll see you.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? For a limited time at TPC Wisconsin, enjoy full golf privileges and all club amenities without full dues. Pay just $150 per month through March to maintain your full golf membership with no golf dues until April 1st. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Schedule a tour or submit a membership inquiry at tpcwisconsin.com and start enjoying the private golf club experience you deserve. That's tpcwisconsin.com.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, serviced, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Start your career where the road to success is paved in coffee. At Dunkin' Donuts, we're now hiring crew members and hourly shift leaders at our locally owned locations. Dunkin' offers flexible schedules, employee discounts, health and dental benefits, and paid time off. Plus,
bolster your resume with our own leadership training program and even scholarship opportunities. Up to $1,500 per semester.
Text Team Spirit to 85000 or visit teamtmart.com/careers to apply. Dunkin', America runs on you.
Your family's safety is your responsibility, and it starts with a solid roof. When the next storm rips through and takes some of your shingles with it, call Badgerland Exteriors. Or looking to replace your whole roof but don't want to break the bank? Let the team at Badgerland Exteriors give you a free, no obligations estimate.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit badgerlandexteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's badgerlandexteriors.com.
Coors Light presents